Good evening and welcome back to the live streaming coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. My name is Jerry Gertz of Curling Zone. Pleasure to have John Wilsey, skip of Team Wilsey, plays around on the Ontario Curling Tour, World Curling Tour. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Jerry. Good to be with you. I know you had some B-list celebrities last weekend, but glad to see you pulled in the big guns for this primetime game. So happy to be here.
Here, awesome. Yeah, great to have you. This is your home club. You've been around KW Granite for a number of years now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like 5 or 6 years. Went to school at both Waterloo and Laurier. So played on all these sheets, number 4 in particular, quite a few times, and I think we got a good game tonight. I guess the lesser known John Epping. We get to finally see this guy. No, I'm kidding. But it's good to see a team like Sam Steep play against a team like John Epping that's used to playing on the circuit slam teams. I think they'll put up a good fight for us tonight, especially following that game this afternoon.
Yeah, exciting to see Emily Deshane winners over Jennifer Jones in the opening round. Up one coming home, steals the 8th to take the win there in an exciting matchup.
Yeah, it certainly shows that anything can happen on curling club ice. There's no gimmies out here. All these teams, especially given all the circumstances, are coming to play. I think this is John Epping's first event. They got a spare in here at second, Pat Jansen. It'll be interesting to see how they come out. Obviously, Epping played in the mixed doubles event, as we get a flash there from Brent Lang. Be interesting to see who kind of comes out hot here.
Yeah, this is first event for the year for Team Epping. I know John, as you were saying, was out for the mixed doubles, but Brent as well, winning the event with his wife Jennifer. And but middle of the lineup, this is new on the ice for them, I imagine.
Yeah, who knows how much people have been getting out. I know me personally, I haven't even sniffed an ice surface yet, and probably won't be for another couple weeks. We're scheduled to play in KW. I'm hoping to get on the ice once before that, but it's even playing surface now more than ever.
Yeah, so the Steep team played last weekend. The Stu Sells Oakville Tankard was the opening event of the men's and women's circuit. This is the third event of 3 to start the season in here in KW. And the event you were mentioning, the KW Fall Classic, 2 weekends from now, scheduled for here. We'll see how that progresses yet with everything going on, too.
Yeah, the first true KW event, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's the one that's been the regular event every year, every September.
Yeah, so there's a hit and roll from Pat Jansen, but still even the Steep team shot rock without the hammer. Looking to split the house.
So Pat Jansen replacing Matthew Cam, who is out with an early season injury.
Yeah, it's gotta be tough for him, I guess, sitting at home and kind of watching the guys get out here.
Yeah, from what I hear, it's week to week, so just it's just working his way back. But hoping to be back on the ice soon, depending on the next opportunity for Epping to play.
Yeah, especially after such a long layoff for everyone. Like, I know for me personally, it's been a time to kind of rehab some nagging injuries. So to have something come up kind of right as the season's starting, it's gotta be tough for him. But they've got no slouch in there filling in for him. Pat Jansen's certainly a capable curler. Obviously played with Epping all those years and has been on the tour. A good mixed doubles player as well. So he'll fit in seamlessly this weekend.
Yeah, Jansen a bit of a hired gun the last couple of seasons. He's sort of stepped back from being a full-time player, but yeah, playing mixed doubles like you were saying, John. And I know he was in Japan in last December with Team Botcher, and I know he picked up events in a few different places as well with different teams. You know, good to have a reliable hand like that available to step in on a weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a luxury for sure. That's the second for Team Steep. Oliver Campbell just over curling there. I think we got the colors on the scoreboard backwards at the moment, but
We do. There
yeah,
we
there
go.
we go. Yeah, so
Score
Ryan
updates
Fry,
with no click. The colors need a click.
yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, so Ryan Fry now looking to hit to sit two now. After that early flash from Langer, they got a chance for two as they end up rolling to a group of stones. See what Adam Vincent can do with these now.
So yeah, just a heads up on the lineup. I believe Team Steep did have a change. Doug Thompson is in. Adam Vincent is out.
Oh, so okay, we got you.
I believe this might be Oliver throwing third stones.
Well, I think this is Thomas now. Looks like
Thomas Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't certain of the throwing order with the third coming in.
Yeah, I was just looking at the online lineup. So
just got caught a little bit on that straight side along the aisle there.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looked like they were getting lots of curl the other way just based on their draw to the button.
Yeah, it's been sort of a storyline on this sheet. If you get it a little bit too far out, especially along the aisle there, it just will run straight or even, maybe even fall a little bit. But you definitely don't get the curl off that side.
Yeah, which is interesting because historically, just based on the way they are able to flood it here, it sometimes gets built up along that middle aisle and actually comes down kind of the opposite of what we're seeing. So I know the club has a new ice maker in there this year. They've had some turnover. So my insider knowledge might not be quite as dialed in today, but obviously you've been watching the sheet, seeing the tendencies.
Yeah, it's Rob Adams who's come in to take over, and so far rave reviews from the ice that he's given the curlers over the first 3 weekends here. They're talking 4.5 feet of curl with lots of speed, 25, 26 seconds even. That a measurement from hogline to stop, or is that backline to stop? I can't remember now.
That'd be hogline
to stop. Yep. It's been a while since I've been on the ice myself.
Yeah, me too. Can't even remember what the numbers really mean, to be honest. But yeah, that's pretty good conditions, especially pretty sure they turned on the equipment not long before last week's event, so they've got it kind of up to snuff pretty good. That's 4.5 feet of curl that allows the teams to kind of make enough shots that you got to be precise out here. Certainly no getting away with half shots, especially with these two teams. They'll be rock placement will be at a premium here.
So of course Brent Lang sweeping here, throws lead stones for Team Epping. Pat Jansen in the lineup, Ryan Fry at third, and your skip is John Epping.
Yeah, so Sam's going to look to switch gears here with the hammer. Epping lying the 2, but there's not a lot of opportunity to get rid of those and get out of here with a blank. So might as well, with the 4-foot open, might as well look to try and put a multiple on the board by hiding one around these staggered rocks, as I know Vic Router would get excited about the stagger. But
and again, a testament to the ice here, calling the draw around the rocks in the rings.
Yeah, that's definitely a compliment to how much it's swinging.
Got to be pretty close. Just a little bit too heavy here. Ends up sliding back. Looks like for third shot. Opens the door here for Epping. Reality is, though, Sam's going to have the whole 4-foot to draw to for a single point, and he just test drove his first stone. Should have a good feel for it now going forward.
Yeah, he's definitely should have the feel now after seeing he was about 4 or 5 feet heavy there. So John will look to kind of make it a little more challenging on him for this one. But yeah, all Sam's thinking about now is just how much he has to take off on his next one, and he's probably going to be looking at 3, but can't really be thinking about that. Just got to be focused on making sure he puts one on the tee line next time.
So for Epping, he doesn't necessarily want to fully bury this. If he was able to maybe tuck a quarter of a stone, create a little bit of a teaser here, maybe make Steep think about throwing a hit.
Yeah, with it a little heavy. Didn't quite curl as much as he wanted, I don't think. Looks like once they're kind of getting more towards the 4-foot lines, they're not quite snapping as much. Like, the draw to buttons, they had it out in the 12-foot, and these aren't quite coming over. They're just getting over the center line. So yeah, maybe seeing just a little bit dished from the outside, but yeah, Sam's got just full 4-foot for his one and has a bit of backing there.
No indecision here. Put the broom down, go through the draw.
And the other important part is the sweepers just saw one go down, so they should have a pretty good idea on the speed. So they backed right off here. Hasn't curled yet, so it's a little heavy. That's an unforced error there from Sam.
Looks like steal 1, 2, maybe 3. The other thing that can happen in that situation, you get a little bit of a runway effect there. You throw a third stone down that same path, and all of a sudden you end up, each stone down the path will speed it up. So in reality, throwing your last one, you got to throw even a fair bit less than your first one's actual weight call.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially in the first end. You're looking at the ice still kind of wearing wearing down and getting up to game speed. So
tough start here for Team Steep. Steal of, we believe it was 3. We'll get you a score update as soon as we get back from this quick commercial message.
When I sweep with the Gold Line Fiber Light, I feel like I'm sweeping on TV.
That's life.
More surface area, better results.
It's that easy.
It's that easy.
You need to sweep for weight?
You need to sweep with this.
Now, every time I curl, people ask me, what are you sweeping with?
What are you sweeping with?
What are you sweeping with?
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Firehouse Subs has so many delicious quality subs. There's something for everyone. But the one that started it all more than 25 years ago was the Hook and Ladder. Piping hot and piled high with freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, honey ham, melted Monterey Jack, and loaded with the freshest toppings on a toasted roll. Try the Hook and Ladder today to find out why everyone keeps coming back again and again. The Hook and Ladder. One bite and you'll be hooked. Visit firehousesubs.ca to order online.
All right, back here, second end. Team Steep with a first end they'd like to forget about.
yeah, not the best start for them, but now they just kind of got to switch gears here and look to try and put a couple more points on the board. But at the same time, you're looking at 7 more ends to go. Can't get too carried away. Make sure you keep Team Epping within reach here and try to keep this game going as long as possible. So the big thing for Team Steep and Sam in particular here is just to kind of forget that first end. They're going to want to obviously try and get that 3 back as soon as possible, but that can't really be the mindset entirely. You're just looking to set up your 2 here, and with this call hitting the front stone, it might seem like a bit defensive, especially down 3, but you don't want to let Epping kind of clog up the front too much. You're just playing into his hands at that point. So make a hit here, maybe try to roll the wing, try to create some space for yourself, and try to manufacture the 2 later on in the end.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, John. You see a lot of teams sometimes just get so aggressive in a situation like this, and they end up just getting into too much trouble and get forced to a single, or even worse, give up a steal in a situation like that.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like those rocks, they're both in the 12-foot. Might be easy to just put the broom down and try to come around your corner guard there. You put it up for a reason. But with the 5-rock rule, Pat can't go up and peel that on the next one. If you decide to come around, you don't quite make it perfect. John kind of puts another thing in front of the house there, and all of a sudden you got 3 red kind of blocking your draw path.
Yeah.
Now even though Team Steep hit and rolled away, the middle's fairly open now. He's opened up his draw around the corner guard. It's just kind of changed the complexion a bit by forcing Pat to hit out on the wing as opposed to throw another one in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. You look at a situation like this, that corner guard is going to be there for Steep for, at least a few more shots. They have control of this end now. There's no risk in the middle, and they got a chance to try and score 2. Unfortunately, that's not the way they wanted to throw that shot.
Yeah, that's not the ideal outcome, but John's not... Team Epping isn't really going to play around here, it looks like. Talked about the peel on the center guard, but
They are going around.
Yeah, they are deciding to kind of put the pedal to the metal here. So I don't mind that from them. You know, like they got a center guard up front, especially like 3-point lead in 5-rock rule. You can't really, in the second end, you can't really say we're going to just start playing defensive here.
No.
The two's going to come quickly back at you, and all of a sudden you're looking at a tight game again. You might as well try to put the points on, especially after seeing a couple misses out of Team Steve.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see the teams pick this up as their play with the 5-rock rule evolves. You know, it's sort of that thing, you know, if your optimal strategy is to attack the middle and close down the scoring area, you know, if you know, your best chance to score and to win the game is to play that way, then you might as well do it whether you're winning or losing.
Yeah, it's almost like a lot of other sports. You want to just kind of play as if the score is tied, right? So it's a little different in curling, obviously, but I think early on in the game, kind of got to keep the mentality that, you know, the points can come back fast or come at you fast. So not kind of getting too far out of your game plan so early in the game. It's certainly an important mindset to have, especially when you're for a team like Sam Steep playing John Epping. Like, you got to remember, like, you're playing some good curlers, but at the end of the day, you're playing against rocks, just like any other game. So
yeah, that's a good message too. You know, teams like Epping, Howard in this field, they win a lot of games before the game even starts, before they even step on the ice, because the name on the back adds that kind of intimidation. But if you can figure out how to take that out, you are just playing the other team's stones.
Yeah, and honestly, sometimes, like, even though it might not be the best start, like Steep getting down early here, they can kind of, you know, all the guys can just kind of take a breath here, and the pressure's off, and you know, there's not a ton of expectation. Obviously, you're coming into this game with the hope to win. But if the roles have been reversed, if Steep had jumped out to a 3-0 lead here, all of a sudden, you know, grip the broom a little tighter, things start to happen. But now the pressure's off. They can kind of just go on offense here, play a little loose, kind of limit the expectations, just try to make some curling shots and get themselves back in this game early here.
So Oliver Campbell on the sweep there. Oliver is throwing second stones. Thomas Ryan has slid into the third position. And Doug Thompson is in at lead for Team Steep. Great run back there by Oliver Campbell. Sets this end up. We've got the corner guard up. You know, Epping is sitting shots underneath. Oh, there goes the corner. But it's still been low risk. You know, they're lying, looks like second shot right now. But a hit, roll across the rings. You know, all of a sudden you're lying first and third. And there's a real chance here to still get a 2. While at the same time, Steep should be able to score without too much risk.
Yeah, this has been 2 well-managed ends by Sam Steep with the hammer. Like, you know, last end, he had a chance to kind of, you know, tuck a draw on his first one. Wasn't successful, but he had a draw to the 4-foot, same shot twice in a row. You can't really ask for much more as a skip in that spot. And now again, he's got the 4-foot wide open. So this is an unfortunate miss, but at the end of the day, if you keep the 4-foot open for yourself against a team like Epping, like you're dodging those steals, you're going to keep the game close. Now, Team Epping line 3. I think they're just going to look to put another one in the rings here. force Sam into making a decision if he wants to go after his 2 with a freeze or some sort of finesse shot, or if he just wants to keep the 8 foot open for himself. See where
has to put this in a bit of a perfect spot. A little too high, and Steep can go around it.
Yeah, unforced error there, leaving that one short.
Yeah, so chance here for Steep to make that draw again.
Yep, and I believe this is the side that he threw his draw of the button on, so him and the sweeper should have a pretty good idea of what's going on over here. Threw a couple draws last end, ended up a little heavy, so hopefully he makes the adjustment and can pull in a good spot here. So looking for this one to curl now.
Yeah, changing signs there to just try and encourage this to move a little bit more. Here at the end, a little bit.
Doesn't look like they quite got buried there.
Yeah, I think maybe about a third of that stone is under cover. Enough that Epping is just looking at the safety roll away here. You know, you'd love to hit and roll underneath, but in order to make that shot, wrecking on the guard, yeah, maybe edge to edge.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get too cute with this one. Make it go away. If you stick, it's a bonus. Make Sam make the same shot again.
Jansen looking for the curl, and wow. One of the things we've definitely noticed about the ice here in KW is that it's been very unforgiving if you don't throw the right weight for the right broom. Get it up a little bit, and it'll run real straight on you.
Yeah, that's an example there where, you know, I don't know exactly what the weight call was, but, you know, it didn't look like a huge overthrow, but maybe just that extra 6 feet on a board waiter and get it a hair outside.
It can make
like
you look
kind of
foolish sometimes.
Talking about in the first end, it might just be a little flatter in the middle. Saw Sam's draw kind of under curl. These guys just getting caught a bit. It's not quite getting the late finish that they're seeing.
And there it is, 2 back here in the second end for Team Steep. We'll head to the third end. Epping will have hammer up 1 here at the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. Streaming live from the KW Granite Club in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario.
Hey guys, we are here at the Summit at King and Bathurst, and this condo complex is crazy. Look, it's got an outdoor pool, it's got 2 barbecues, has an indoor pool, full gym, yoga, workout room. This is truly like being at Club Med. Now, we're bringing this amazing 1-bedroom and den condo unit to market, brand new wood floor, brand new gorgeous kitchen, brand new bathroom, open concept. This building was built about 30 years ago. When they built these condos, they built them for living. So we're almost 700 square feet of open space, floor to ceiling glass, so much room, closets, storage. This is an amazing unit. So go to stusells.ca, look at all these pictures, see the video, and then call me, Stu, and come for your personal tour.
Together, a special shout out to Jerry for kind of putting all the work in behind the scenes. Hi guys, we're Team Steep. It's great to be here in Waterloo, Ontario for the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. We're really excited to get back out onto the ice here. I just want to give a shout out to all the hard work of the staff at the KW Granite Club for putting this together. A special shout out to Jerry for kind of putting all the work in behind the scenes, and a big thanks to Stu Sankey from Stu Sells for sponsoring this event. We also want to thank our sponsors here. You can check them out on our social media page at Team Steep Curling on Facebook or Team Steep Curls on Instagram. Thanks everyone, and good curling. Bye now.
Fun little video there from Team Steep.
I like the video from the commercial from Stu there. I'm not in the market for a house, but those things look pretty good if I was.
Well, that's the guy you want selling your house, isn't it?
No lack of enthusiasm, that's for sure. So we get our first look at Epping with the hammer here after a couple ends with Team Steep carrying it. We'll see. I know Epping has a bit of a reputation for kind of putting some rocks in play. What are you expecting here with the hammer from Team Epping here, Jerry?
Well, you just stole my lines, so I was going to say something along the lines of Team Epping has a history of liking to put some rocks in play. So yeah, it is well known.
So we'll probably see a blank is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, this can happen though too, and it's one of the things you look at the firepower in the middle of this lineup. You know, you've got Fry at third, Matt Cam at second, and here with Jansen replacing Cam, you know, brings the same type of shot repertoire. So, you know, John likes to get aggressive, and he'll continue to attack when it's looking good. But then when it starts to go bad, you can blow it up real quick too.
I guess the only luxury they're missing in this instance is that, you know, no knock on the rocks at KW Granite, but they're not quite as lively as the rocks that these guys are using at the slams and the briars. So, you know, a little tougher to clean things up if they were to get in trouble, but just watching here, Pat Jansen has a chance to hit and roll to lie two buried.
Yeah, and that typically
makes it look easy.
Yeah, that you know, liveliness of the stones is really just due to the age of the rocks. You know, typically curling club stones are anywhere from, you know, relatively new to, you know, up to 25, 30 years in some cases in clubs. So, you know, that bounce effect certainly wears out over time. So again, there you go.
I don't know, what do you want to do? I just felt like it was a pig. Like, I felt like this rock was dead. 7? Yeah. Okay. Which one do you want sanitized? Which one are you switching? Yeah. He's going to take the 1. I'm 2-7.
Both these teams in very similar looking jackets.
Yeah, I guess they didn't. No one chose their away jersey today. Not sure they discussed it before the game.
So I had thought that was Epping opening things up, but of course Steep needed to make that run back to kind of clean up the middle. They're in a bit of trouble. Leaves the corner guard open here for Epping.
Yep, Oliver's made some good runbacks here to kind of keep things, not looking too scary for the back end of Team Steep. Last end, he made the run back to kind of open things up after it was looking a little sketchy for them. And in this end, he clears up the right side, and Epping's still lying too, but one's open and one's half open, so they got a chance to string together a couple good shots here and get out of it.
Ryan Fry throwing third stones. Joined Team Epping last season. Hit and stay on the nose. This roll is certainly not an easy shot.
No, but another chance for Thomas here to make the hit and roll under. Just saw it on his last, so opportunity to try and get one under cover and maybe get a force or steal out of it, but it looks like it's hanging out there.
And it's just one of those shots you really want to stay there. You can't really roll out because you can get yourself into a bit of trouble around that guard. So you kind of safety it a little bit, and then you hit it on the nose.
Yeah, and like you were said earlier, kind of finding after a couple of guys throw that same path in a row, you can start to get it into a little track there, and the thing just doesn't want to come up for you. Playing the hit and roll that way across the face too is certainly, it's the way to play it because you're making sure that you're hitting the rock first, but it's you got to hit less of the rock to make the roll, so it's a bit of a give and take when you're playing those shots. How much do you want to go for the roll and try to get a force and risk flashing? We saw a couple flashes in the first end on that side, so don't want to get too cute with it. And they've nosed it enough times in a row here that Sam's going to try and take on the double.
Sam, 2019 Ontario Junior Champion. Regular third Adam Vincent and Oliver Campbell here, part of that team as well.
Yeah, so lots of experience for these guys, obviously. Junior champions. I know Sam was on a team. I think they were silver medalists at OUAs a couple of years ago and went to the U Sports. So, played in lots of meaningful games. Not going to shy away from the stage here against the names like John Epping and Ryan Fry and others.
They were 16 and 24 on the record on the season last year, reaching the semifinals at the Stroud Sleeman Cashspiel, as well as the Curlon Men's Cashspiel, which is the provincial qualifier. So starting to show a few results here and there, getting some key wins. but certainly with any young team, you continue to look for more consistency.
Yeah, and just from my experience playing against them, they've given us good games basically every time we play them, gotten us a few times as well. Like Sam's no easy out. He can, turn around and play 100% game when he puts his mind to it. He's certainly a shooter, and he'll force you to play your best in order to get the win against him. And here he's got a chance to make the double against 2, and he gets it. So, like we called it, a blank here in the third end.
Right on cue.
I'd say that's mission accomplished, though, for Epping, as much as he wants to get the rocks in play here, assuming that he gets a piece of it here. In the third end, better than me, blanking the odd ends is just as good, if not better than. Well, it's definitely better than putting a 1 on the board, but he can turn around now with a 1-point lead with the hammer and 4 and try to put a score on the board.
Hi.
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 I'm Sean Chang.
My name is Chris.
Hi, I'm Phil Hanna.
And I'm an RBC mortgage specialist.
I can meet you where you work, where you live, or halfway across town. Unia Mortgage Specialist.
You can find us anywhere, from here
To here.
and even way over here.
But what is a
Mortgage specialist.
And what does a mortgage specialist do?
What does a mortgage specialist do?
What does a mortgage specialist do?
Well, to start, we understand our communities.
Whether you live in Little Portugal
Or run and operate a store in Bloor West Village.
We want to understand you.
We take the time to get to know each and every one of our clients.
Because we all have unique circumstances.
And we would love to get to know yours.
So, let's meet at your closest branch.
Or maybe over a cup of coffee.
So we can understand what matters to you.
We're here to support you.
And we never,
Ever.
leave our clients behind.
Whether you're buying your first home
Or your fifth.
Or even when you're looking to build your dream home.
We bring our deep understanding of the real estate landscape and our communities
Together, under the one team of RBC.
para melhor atender você.
Because our goal is to help you achieve yours.
Our goal is to help you achieve yours.
And we'll work tirelessly to make your dream home a reality.
To make your dream home a reality.
Your goals and dreams deserve an expert. Come and see an RBC mortgage specialist today, where we won't leave a client behind.
All right, back here for the fourth end. Blank in the third. Team Epping will continue with the hammer. Down 1 without. What are you thinking here, John?
Well, they've thrown up the center guard to start. We'll see how things come around. I think at this point you're getting towards the halfway point. Sam's definitely going to look to try and get a force and ideally a steal, obviously. But he's been in the first 2 ends with the hammer. He managed it well, kept the center open, and now he's going to try and kind of do the opposite, try and clog things up in the middle. But at the same time, it's a balance. You don't want to get too overly aggressive against the team. And a skip like John Epping in particular, where he can master those angles and put up a crooked number pretty quickly on you. So Sam's got to find a good balance here. Keep the middle, try and control the middle as best he can, and identify, when things start looking a little gnarly, if he should make sure he gets rid of some redstones. And I like the call there from him. He had one top 8. Epping was sitting shot rock. He's looking for the freeze on the red there. Try and keep shrinking that scoring area. But unfortunately, ticking off that one top 12 and rolling open. Not leaving the angles in a great spot as they look from there.
Yeah, you look at this, and it looks like Epping could hit half to a quarter of that red stone and make all the yellows go away.
Yeah, and I think he's just going to leave that angle on top. He likes the way it looks. Doesn't think Sam can really make that yellow a positive for himself. So he's going to hit shot rock, likely roll away. Probably force Team Steep into the same shot again.
That rock must have been over curling quite early because they weren't even sweeping it anymore.
Yeah, and it looked like you were saying, we saw maybe some overthrows in the second end coming this way that ran a little straight, and that looked like not enough weight to get that yellow out there, and clearly over curling pretty early on. So
looked like hack weight at best. Probably just a little down, and yeah, agreed. It just caught the curl, and of course they're certainly not setting it out there and making sure it's out there on a spot like that. That's a little straighter than others.
No, it's that balance between, you can get away with kind of what I like to call like a club ice release here. You don't have to be super positive with it, but you know, the weight control at those back line to board weight shots, there's quite a bit of a difference on the curl there, and you're seeing it where saw flashes wide earlier when they're throwing board and maybe calling for a little less, and there Pat was close to the back line when they probably wanted a bit more weight. So time to clean things up now, Team Epping, and see what Sam decides to do. He's sitting already. He's sitting 3, but 2 Epping stones in the rings, and with the hitting ability of Ryan Fry coming up, you know, those yellows probably won't be around for too much longer.
Yeah, Sam sees it, that double in the back there. If that's made, then all of a sudden that one yellow is a pretty lonely yellow in the rings right now. So I think Sam looking at the double on the outside. Thomas Ryan throwing third stones here.
Yeah, certainly don't mind this call from Sam. Just wants to eliminate some red stones.
Oh, sorry, I thought there was 2 red out there. Makes the one go away, and you know, the fact it doesn't stay is really not critical here.
Well, I think, you know, staying and out counting that one on the top would have been nice, but you know, making red go is the #1 priority there.
Again, not a lot of weight on his last throw too. Couple stones down that side, thrown with down weight.
And there's one you see Fry probably just hit that one a hair thick, and with these stones, it was probably on an angle to hit the other yellow and make the double, but just not quite as lively action as you're used to seeing on the TSN or Sportsnet broadcasts, right?
Yeah, for sure. So again, would love to hit this right on the nose. Chance to make the double here for Ryan Fry.
Yeah, definitely wants to hold the shooter here too. Put a little pressure on Steve, but he's gonna get and sit in the 12 foot.
Yeah, he keeps just edging closer, edging closer.
And yeah, like we said, you know, Sam was sitting 3, hitting the live 4, but you knew those yellows weren't going to last too much longer. And now, pretty important shot here for Sam to stick around and try to lie 2. If he just rolls in a little bit, it's going to be a really good shot, but easier said than done.
Yeah, this is where you start to put a little bit of pressure on the opponent. It's a fairly simple shot, but you have to make it.
Yeah, and out a little further than we've been, so see how this one runs.
They're calling hard just to get a piece of it. Just caught on that outside. Again, not a lot of weight. They're throwing them pretty quiet out here today.
Yeah, I think especially in a spot like when you're throwing out at the edge of the 12 foot, you know, it's without a practice, like that spot's not going to be super worn in. If you're calling for a control weight, like a 10 or a 10-5 hog to hog, you almost got to slide out with a second or more harder. And by the time it gets down to the far end, that extra pebble out there, it's probably going to be the weight you want. So I think he just got caught there maybe with a little, probably slid out all right. And by the time it got down to the far end, it was a little quiet, caught some pebble and overcurled.
Joined here tonight by John Wilsey, skip of Team Wilsey out of the KW Granite Club area. I think you got up to about top 25 in the world early last season.
That's my peak, Jerry.
Well, I think you can do it again. You're still young. There's time.
Well, we'll
you guys were one of the teams in Ontario putting in the work and doing a bit of traveling. I know you got out to the Stu Sells in Halifax, I believe.
We played the Mayflower out there last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was a fun spiel. Highly recommend for anyone that's looking for a good time.
And, of course, you know, it's that investment in getting out and playing new teams and new experiences in the game. You know, it's great to see teams like yours get out and play those types of events.
Yeah, I think it's important, especially, you know, I'm lucky to play with guys that I get along with really well too, and you can go out on traveling with them because, you know, you can go out and play in big events, but if you're not kind of, I guess, well acquainted with your teammates, it makes it a difficult experience. So I feel pretty fortunate to get along with the guys I play with. Seeing different parts of the country and getting to curl at the same time, that's definitely a perk of the sport.
So last stone, I believe, here. We are blind to only the views that you also have at home, just based on the shots. And they're out to clear the house. We'll put 2 on the board for Team Epping, and we'll head to the 5th end. Epping leads Team Steep 5-2 here at the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, we are here at the summit at Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And I am so pumped to bring 113th Street to market. This is a super cool house. We are in New Toronto. The lake is right there. The bike path is right there. Do you know what? I've always said in real estate, this area of Lakeshore, New Toronto, is going to be the next beaches of Toronto. You can see the development. And voila, we have this great raised bungalow. The ceilings in the basement are 8 feet tall, and you have a 1-bedroom apartment in the basement for extra income. And you know what? My client has done all the hard work. She's taken out the walls. She's put in the structural support beam. So everything's there to put a second story on, or you know what? Just come to this beautiful country-like setting backyard and just chill. The home has a lot of upgrades. Like I said, it has the beam. It's an open concept. And you know what? The crazy thing about this bungalow is it actually has a front hall closet, which most bungalows don't. So look, go to stusells.ca. You can see all the pictures and videos of this amazing backyard. You can take a tour of the area and call me Stu and come have a showing.
Hopefully we're going to get a nice little behind the scenes look at the #2 team ranked in the world. So guys, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. I just kind of want to get a sense of how you guys are doing right now with kind of the craziness that's been going on in the world. Obviously a lot of curling events were canceled because of COVID-19. As a curling fan, I have totally missed watching it. I want to know how much you guys miss playing it. John, maybe I'll start with you. How much do you miss it, and what have you been doing in the meantime to keep yourself busy?
Yeah, I definitely miss it a lot. I think the big thing I miss is being with the other guys. I don't. It's actually nice seeing their faces right now because we don't get to do this very often. But for me, not a heck of a lot because everything business-wise shut down. So trying to take up the guitar, find some courses, and hopefully start golf.
Everybody golfs, I believe.
Yeah, I do.
Any post-curling aspirations to take it to the senior tour or anything like that? How are your games?
Oh, I have full aspirations of taking it to the senior tour. I rooming with Langer and listening to him talk about golf got me absolutely fired up. So I went and bought a brand new set of clubs, got a practice membership, and we're going on a little trip together. Hopefully at the end of or the middle of July, so I'll be able to put my skills to the test there. But I'm going with we're going with 8 or 7 pretty good golfers, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna wind up dead last in the heats there too. But we'll never know. You never know. You got to dream, Natasha. You got to dream.
Right.
Langer won't admit it, but Langer's he hits the ball when it sounds like a tour player.
Yeah.
Welcome back into the fifth end here. That was a little bit of fun from Team Epping on their social media page. Be sure to check it out. Just go onto Facebook and search for Team Epping. You'll find it there. John's been doing some great work on the site. This partnership with Coolbet has really created an interesting opportunity with the team. And Sunday night poker tournaments. Have you taken part in any of them, John?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm super jealous of these guys getting to partner up with Coolbet. I was able to partake in those poker tournaments. Was unsuccessful in the first few, but went on a bit of a Cinderella run in one of the later ones and ended up finishing runner-up, I think. And yeah, they were a good time, and I've stayed using that site. I'm on the Miami Heat tonight in the basketball game for anyone following along there. They're up by 7, but
so no crowning of the GOAT yet, or what, in your mind?
Pardon me?
No crowning of the GOAT there tonight?
No, I think it's going to 6.
Certainly.
But that might just be wishful thinking.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Lots of great sports going on right now. Baseball, and of course, pretty excited to have curling as part of that list as well, as the Tampa Bay Rays appear to have knocked out the New York Yankees.
That's good news. Not a Yankee guy.
The Rays are just such a great Cinderella story. How they do what they do with the finances they have. Makes a David over Goliath story there.
Yep, probably the worst stadium in all of pro sports too, and they get her done somehow. But we got a curling game going on, so I'm sure people want to hear about that as well.
Again for Steep, not overplaying this end too much. Couple guards out front. Of course, one good corner guard is all you need to score a 2 here.
Yep, and again, in an odd end, I think at this point he wants to score his 2, get himself back in this game, but no harm in, early bail point, looking for that blank and scoring 2 in the next end as well.
Though that will not help. Now all of a sudden, that miss was going to put them into a big hole here. Ryan Fry being asked to throw the draw around that center guard, lying 2 buried.
Yeah, if he makes this good, I think Team Steve's going to have a decision to make whether they want to, put the game on the line and get aggressive, or if you're going to see them open it up here, we'll see what Sam decides to do. And no hesitation. He's going to start ripping stuff off.
Yeah, you make this run back here. If you hit it close to center where you need to, your shooter will kick over. It'll stay in play as another corner guard.
Yep, still playing catch up. I mean, wants to give himself at this point just a shot to the button, which is not easy right now. The run back's going to be is going to be a necessity at some point. You're not expecting Fry or Epping to miss any of these guards.
Some encouragement through text from Jim Wilson, coach of Team Epping, who is watching along here.
I'm glad you're getting words of encouragement, because I'm just getting chirped by my friends. So I like to think I'm doing a pretty good job, but
yeah, you're certainly getting some compliments in the chat. So no, it's been good. This is the type of insights that are great to hear from a face that a lot of curling fans don't necessarily know about, but maybe hopefully someday you'll make a little bit more noise on the circuit.
Well, I can certainly I can give the perspective of a mediocre curler. I understand both sides of it. I've had hot runs where I felt like I could beat some of these guys, and other times where it's a struggle just sliding out of the hack. So I've been on both spectrums. Enjoy watching these guys play. Like, it's fun to see teams like Steep play against guys like Epping, kind of like I was talking off the top. You want to, if you're in Sam's shoes here, you want to see how you stack up against these guys, no matter kind of the circumstances. It doesn't really matter. I don't think a lot of these guys have been on the ice too much, so why not kind of go out there and see where your skills line up,
Yeah, it's certainly a great opportunity for a team like Steep. I know Jason Cam is also in that category as well. They get a chance to get out here, get a couple games against a Howard, against an Epping. Last weekend it was Brad Jacobs. So, this is something that is unique, and, these teams are playing a little bit closer to home this year. And so, you know, for young teams like this, it is a great opportunity.
And it's definitely against these guys, like it's always a learning experience, right? Like you see, I know like our team playing Team Epping last year, we were playing them. It was one of the early events at Oakville, and you know, just how precise they are with everything. The biggest thing we noticed is just they're so close on their draw weights every time. If the speed is hog to hog, 14.5, you never see one of their rocks go outside 14.4 or 14.6. Like they're so dialed in, they're so close, and that's just the difference between, you know, that level below and the teams that are the upper echelon teams, right? Like the consistency level is there such that they, you know, even with a target on their back, they're gonna come at you and make it look easy.
Looking for this to stay on the edge.
So I think they were going after shot rock there. They ended up hitting second shot, stuck around. So there is a window here if you can get a miss out of Epping. With that rock in the 12-foot, you forced them to draw in lie too. But John does have to be careful here to place this in a good spot. If they're watching it here, if he hangs it out, Sam's gonna have a chance to maybe make a double in lie too.
And they may have ended up in a pretty good spot. The double here is not easy to keep in play.
Yeah, I think Sam's, it looked like he signaled for a control weight there. I think you might have to throw it a little harder than that, but there's no need to whip it. Parking lot weight down here. Like you said, with the way those are angled, you're hitting the one on the left as we were looking at it first, and it's going to be spinning hard up towards the top of the house. So the harder you throw it, obviously the less chance you have of sticking that shooter. So you can make this double with just, you know, a normal weight, 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds, hog to hog, and try to hold on that shooter. Even if he doesn't, he's forcing Epping to make a draw around again, because I believe his third shot stone right now is buried.
Just gets the one and kicks the Epping stone a little further under.
Oh, that's
Single
last
point.
rock.
Yeah. Was working on the pivot. Single point for Team Steep. It's now 5-3. Epping will have hammer heading into the sixth end.
No matter what speed you're comfortable with, the G50 line has a shoe for you.
That's comfortable and stylish.
When it was time to get his first pair of curling shoes, we went with Goal Line. Now it's time for the G50.
Looks great, but it grips better than anything.
Man, this is a light curling shoe.
These remind me of why I like to play the game.
This is actually the most comfortable curling shoe I have ever owned. It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Firehouse Subs has so many delicious quality subs. There's something for everyone. But the one that started it all more than 25 years ago was the Hook and Ladder. Piping hot and piled high with freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, honey ham, melted Monterey Jack, and loaded with the freshest toppings on a toasted roll. Try the Hook and Ladder today to find out why everyone keeps coming back again and again. The Hook and Ladder. One bite and you'll be hooked. Visit firehousesubs.ca to order online.
Right back here for the sixth end. Special thank you to Patrick Morris of Firehouse Subs. Patrick's been a long-time supporter of the Stu Sells series.
Tell you what, I wouldn't mind a sub right now.
Yeah, those things look good, don't they?
Do the commentators get hooked up with any of the sponsors there, like the house that Stu was showing off, and maybe a couple subs to go with it, or what's the deal?
Yeah, even just a night.
Yeah, one night stay.
A night away, and dinner. At this point, that sounds pretty attractive, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd sign off. So looking at the sixth end, I think steep without the hammer. What are you expecting here, Jerry? I think he's going all offense now.
Yeah, I think this is a spot you got to throw double center guards and just say, hey, we're all in, guys. You're down 2 without. You give up a point here. You're really in trouble. You give up 2, it's probably game over. We're pretty close to it.
Yeah, as much as you're going up against the other team, you're also going up against a bit of runway left, right? So
yeah, the clock is starting to count down to midnight.
Yeah. With 3 ends to go, you're looking at, you almost gotta, you'll steal your way there, or force in the 6th and then take 2 and then steal 1 and then steal another one. So no easy path.
Yeah, I love the double center guard here. I think it's the kind of shots you need to play in order to get a steal against a team like Epping. Once you get into the middle of the end, if they get into a little bit of trouble, Jansen and Fry are going to clean that up.
Yeah, so he's got the single guard right now. The one positive, even though he doesn't have the 2 center guards, is that freeze was made pretty well. So that rock's in a good spot. Opting to hit here. If he could ever get a little bit of an inside roll, looks like he might come out as yellow. Not sure if that was the call or if they were trying to hit the outside one.
Keep the weight in a range and you have options out there.
Was it you shared the article, or was it you that was talking about, this no sweeping behind the tee line, maybe becoming something that they look at just implementing?
Well, it's been a discussion, and this happens when stuff like this comes up. You look at some of the rules put in place in baseball, and I think some are going to stick to there. It's just, when the game is played and tried out in some different ways, sometimes things are better. The opportunity to avoid conflict in recreational curling isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't hate it. Just seeing some egregious things of teams sweeping, like warming up the tee line when a rock is still in the top 12 and whatnot. You just kind of eliminate all that, gamesmanship that can go on, right?
Yeah, at the same time, when you start talking about the the entertainment value of a game, you need those kind of conflicts in order to create that excitement too. Those kind of micro conflicts, almost to a degree, right, where you got to sweep a stone.
Yeah, I feel like we see more of those conflicts maybe in the club curling setting as opposed to the more televised events. But
yeah. And I'm not even suggesting like people getting upset with each other. I just mean, in the battle of a curling game between two teams, when there's action on a shot, both teams interact with that shot. Whereas now we're sitting here watching a rock grind to a halt behind the tee line that you'd normally see a guy get on and start sweeping it.
Do you think there's an opportunity here to maybe experiment with some other rules as we're looking at some of these events? Not saying that they don't mean anything, but they're not counting for
Yeah, without points on the line, there isn't nearly the same degree of importance. Yeah, for sure. So there is an opportunity to try a few things. There's a few ideas out there right now. It actually originated for me from the Curl for Kids spiel that's in Oakville, where you start the game with half a point or the hammer. So you flip the coin at the beginning of the game, and you choose whether you want to have one or the other for your advantage.
Yeah, I have a teammate that is very in favor of that idea. So
it does a few things. It's going to balance the win rate with hammer to start. I don't know exactly what it'll look like because we're going to need data in order to understand how it affects it. But we're already pushing a little bit away from, the hammer strength, that it's going to neutralize its sum, which I think our game is going to need, especially at the absolute elite of the game. The other thing it eliminates is extra ends, which for television is actually handy because it fits the game into a much cleaner window, and they don't need that maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think the tough part about it is that, so I get that, extra ends are probably quote unquote the most I guess intense or exciting situations you'll get, but for the casual fan. But I think for a lot of curlers, it's the classic one down with or one up without, right? That's kind of the scenario that you're looking at to get into a last end. So
and you're going to get so much more of that, right? Like there is no tie, so somebody's going to win. So it's going to create absolute drama in that last end.
Yeah, definitely. What about as far as like in-game stuff, like I know like the tick zone or whatever has been kind of bandied about a bit.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of discussion that we need to have around that. The tick is such a challenging shot that to the game, I mean. Like the way the players throw it now, it's not a hard shot. Like essentially you get in the hack as a lead and you're throwing back 12 weight and you want to be close to the broom. And your sweeper is going to help guide it there. It's key, and this is where the consistency comes down. You have to throw that right. You throw that, 3-4 feet too heavy, you're going to sail by. You throw that 3-4 feet too light, and you're going to wreck hard on the guard and make a bit of a mess of the front. So it's it's one of those easy shots you have to be consistently really, really good at.
Yeah, I just think the leads at the top of the game now are basically, like you said, it's automatic for them, right?
Yeah, that was one of the things when we tried out the no-tick zone at the Grand Slams the first year at the Champions Cup. Going into that event, the men's teams were 94% to win when tied with Hammer coming home. Should you be 94% to win in any sporting event tied, in the last whatever you're in? Should it be that automatic?
Yeah, I think that's certainly a discussion to kind of have with a lot of people. Like, I think what's interesting about curling is that we've kind of introduced rules that certainly benefit teams that are behind, right, or trailing, I guess, and needing to score points. With the 5-rock rule, I think
it's to encourage both teams to play is sort of the way I look at it. Like when one team turns to prevent defense and is successful, that just creates boring action.
And there's no doubt we're still seeing a lot of the top teams be the top teams even after the shift from 4-rock to 5-rock, right? So
yeah,
I don't think there's any doubt that that's just kind of emphasize the best teams are still going to be the best teams, kind of no matter what we do, right? So as we kind of look to kind of making rule changes, not that necessarily that they level the playing field, but the best teams are still going to be the best teams. It's just putting out the most entertaining product, right?
Yeah, you look at where a lot of these teams have come from, where the sport is growing and evolving to. We're really starting to see the door opening for the professionalization of the sport. You look at the growth in Asia that's come in Japan, Korea, China to a degree. Teams are able to start making a living at this outside of Canada. A number of the Canadian teams continue to come along and do it too. And, with that comes specialization. These players become so much better. That's certainly one of the challenges in the game from where they are to where you are, on the fringes of the top 25. The gap can feel huge sometimes.
Certainly don't want to get it too off topic from the game, but that kind of leads into the discussion, like you're saying the teams, like the international teams, making this a professional sport. And I know a lot of the curling podcasts that I've listened to, and certainly heard you talk about this as well, kind of the restrictions, obviously, that Canada places on residency rules as far as, putting out the best team possible, right? And that just goes with our crowning a national champion, right?
Really nice shot there from John Epping. Hits, rolls under. Steep is in trouble here. Yeah, it's a challenging spot for Curling Canada to be in because, there's two right decisions for the two constituencies. You've got the Brier as the history and tradition, Scotties same of the sport. National representation, the history, all of that stuff, and of course the revenue that comes from that for the National Association. Then of course you've got the interests of high performance and putting the best teams together and going to the Worlds and Olympics and winning medals. The interest there is with the more freedom you have, the more opportunity you have for the best teams to get together. So there's no easy decision on it. Like, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. It's a really tough spot to be.
Yeah, I think with the upper echelon and elite teams, I think these guys are prioritizing the Olympics, and I think it'd be more beneficial to let them kind of play with who they want, and then start to look at the teams like myself playing with local guys. Like, we're not going to be bringing in people from all over. Kind of keeping the integrity of what the Briar is and almost using it as kind of I don't want to say like minor leagues, but like to kind of use other sport references. That's kind of like a feeder system into bigger events. I think that's kind of what, at least the essence of what we're looking at with the national championship.
Steep bounces off there, a little bit heavy, and this might be it here. Epping looks like hit for 3 here.
Yeah, it looks like curtains here.
So this is last rock of the 6th end.
I agree. It shouldn't curl.
Just talking about here, I'm talking about shouldn't curl, should run straight here. With the hit, that'll be 3 for Team Epping. 8-3 lead here after 6 ends. Just see what they end up doing. John, it's been, regardless, it's been a pleasure to have you. Certainly enjoy the curling in a conversation. That's sort of what I enjoy, sitting back and enjoying around the game.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come on, Jerry. It's been a blast. I've enjoyed the experience, so hopefully do it again sometime in the future.
Would love to have you back. Looking forward to seeing you back on the ice yourself. Goal is to be back for the KW Fall Classic, as long as everything moves forward.
That's right.
Anyways, my name's Jerry Gertz of Curling Zone. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. with our next broadcast. Be sure to check out Curling Zone for all schedules. Until then, thanks again. John Wilsey, my guest tonight. Of course, Price Atkinson earlier this evening. Looking forward to being back again tomorrow. Until then, everyone, take care.
When I sweep with the Gold Line Fiber Light, I feel like I'm sweeping on TV.
That's light. More surface area, better results.
It's that easy.
It's that easy.
You need to sweep for weight? You need to sweep with this.
Now, every time I curl, people ask me, what are you sweeping with?
What are you sweeping with?
What are you sweeping with?
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Firehouse Subs has so many delicious quality subs. There's something for everyone. But the one that started it all more than 25 years ago was the Hook and Ladder. Piping hot and piled high with freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, honey ham, melted Monterey Jack, and loaded with the freshest toppings on a toasted roll. Try the Hook and Ladder today to find out why everyone keeps coming back again and again. The Hook and Ladder. One bite and you'll be hooked. Visit firehousesubs.ca to order online.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And I am so pumped. Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells brand new listing, and we are in Liberty Village. So if you're a young executive and you want to have a great time and be close to your office, then you got to come here to Liberty Village. There's so much going on here. It's got great restaurants, great shops, bars, so much to do. You're close to the lake if you want to go down on the bike path and bike wherever you want. There's parks nearby, and it's a fun little area here in Liberty Village. It's really chic and it's hip, and this unit is spectacular. It is a 1-bedroom, perfect for a single person. It's got a large balcony. It goes the full length of the unit, and you can see the lake, and you can watch out at the whole Liberty Village because you're on the 16th floor. We have pool, gym, party rooms. This is like Club Med down here. So look, go to stusells.ca, look at all the pictures and videos, and then give me Stu a call and I'll come and take you for a tour.
chip.
Yeah, his chipping. Yeah, you can talk about your chipping. I would never do that to you, but he hits the ball like a tour player. He's good.
In this group, it sounds like a tour star for sure. You put me in a different group, it sounds okay.
But when you look at curling and golf, I feel like they're kind of similar in terms of like how focused you have to be and the precision. Do they kind of overplay? Does that make sense?
It does. The skills don't translate, I'll tell you that much.
Right.
The seasons do, but it's kind of different. I mean, I guess it's a feel game with putting and chipping, but I tend to hit the rings most of the time, and I can't hit the green half the time with a wedge in my hand. So it doesn't translate very well for me.
We were out late one night because we didn't have to play till like 1 p.m. the next day, and there was a big snowstorm in Newfoundland, and it was cold. I wasn't dressed appropriately, and apparently on the way back to the hotel as I was running, I had my hands in my pocket, and I must have lost the keys to the car rental. And it's not like you can just walk to the game. It was a half an hour drive to our game, but I didn't know I lost the keys until about 5 minutes before we had to leave for our game.
That's a big responsibility to have, to look after those keys.
Yeah, it comes with being the skip, and it's not like anybody else volunteers.
Right. It's not that you won't let us drive, right, John?
I was because when I'm on road trips with my girls, I always love driving. I like to be in charge. Do you guys fight over who gets to drive, or how does that work? How do you decide?
Can't win that fight, John. Yeah, John drives.
He gets us there the fastest.
Okay.
Oh gosh, yeah. I may have gotten us a few speeding tickets too in other provinces.
That gets split 4 ways too, unfortunately.
Oh,
everything is team account.
I wasn't even in the car. We passed, pulled over on the side, getting a ticket.
Langer just saw $50 fly out of his pocket driving by us.
I knew who it was once I saw the lights.
Let's talk about Coolbet, who I mentioned off the top. They're one of your new partners, and they're trying to increase engagement with fans with curling. What's that been like? What's the reaction been like?
It's been awesome from day one. I mean, I don't know if Coolbet knew this, but a lot of the curlers like to bet on all sorts of sports. There's a lot of gambling that goes on, and not on curling obviously, but a lot of guys bet on other sports: football, hockey, baseball, all those other sports. And so they were all pretty excited to hear about the Team Epping, $50 kind of free money if you registered at Coolbet. So it's been awesome. I mean, the people there, Chris Abbott at Coolbet's been our contact and has become a good buddy of all of ours, and has started to arrange a Sunday night poker night that we've kind of made a regular through COVID here, and it's kind of kept us in touch with each other, which has been pretty cool. But it's always awesome to sign a new partner, obviously, and any kind of, for me anyway, any kind of notoriety to the game of curling, and they're adding curling games, and you can bet on the game and anything. I mean, I think it just makes it more fun for fans to watch. I know I'm not a huge football fan, but if we throw some bets down, even if I don't know anything, it's still, when you're hanging out with friends, it's more fun to watch. So I think it's a good thing that they're involved in curling, and obviously selfishly, it's been awesome for us. And Chris has just been a great guy from day one.